My name is Captain V. Ganesyam. I am from Tamil Nadu. Now I am settled in Chennai. Though I was born in Bombay, I was brought up in Coimbatore. Then after my college, that is I did only first year pre-university. That was a basic qualification those days, and I joined Shipping Corporation of India. Sailed with them as a cadet. Then after passing my second officer's exam, I joined foreign companies. Then I worked in foreign companies. I joined sea in 1975 as a cadet. Then I got my command in 1989. Then I was master till 2000. I sailed for almost 25 years. For example, 1975 my first ship went to Los Angeles. We were there for 1 week. So 1 week I could see all of Los Angeles. But nowadays the same vessel stays only maximum for a day for the same type of cargo. Say we discharge about 10,000 tons which can be discharged in 24 hours in a container vessel today. And moreover, the environmental regulations have become very strict. That is, for example, you can't pollute the sea. So nowadays the rules are very strict. You can't even imagine pumping oil. In case you are caught, you are being arrested. So that could be one of the examples. And another thing is your shore leave is reduced. You can't go ashore like before. And moreover, nowadays you need visa. Those days we had only the seaman's book. So nowadays you need a visa. Suppose you go on a ship which goes to USA, you need a visa in advance. So those type of restrictions are there today. In those days it wasn't there. In fact, we didn't even have shore pass in countries like USA. As soon as the ship comes, we just go out. Nobody even cares to check whether we are those people on board that particular vessel. So things have definitely changed now. Technologically, if you say, for example, those days navigation, we used to use an equipment called sextant, which we had to measure the angle of the celestial bodies, that is the star, moon and the sun or whatever it is. But nowadays you have got satellite navigation. With the push of the button, you get the position of the vessel anytime, or for that matter, you don't even have to push the button. It keeps giving you non-stop the position of the vessel. That is one example you can say. And of course, you have got anti-collision radar and all that. It was there those days, but it wasn't mandatory. But nowadays, the ship has to have anti-collision radar and various other equipment which has become mandatory. And the reason is more ships are there in the ocean. Earlier days, when you cross the Pacific or the Atlantic, you will see only 1 or 2 ships. Very rarely. Nowadays, you see some ships, quite a few ships in Atlantic and Pacific. Now, the type of people who are coming out to sea are more focused in saving money. During a time, it wasn't there. Our idea of sailing was to join the ship, have fun, spend money, come back, spend some time and go back. And of course, the main reason you can say, like I said earlier, is you stay in port for longer time. Ships even stay for 1 month. If the ship comes to India, I have stayed 20 days in Bombay, then 1 week in Cochin, 5 days in Chennai, then another 1 month in Calcutta. Those days we can carry family. As soon as the child is born, people used to take them on board to that extent. Maybe I am exaggerating a bit. To that extent, immediately nobody can take them at least after 6 months. You can take them on board. And even as a chief officer or as a chief engineer or a master or a second engineer, you are eligible to carry your family. And family also willing to sail those days because the ship used to stay in port for longer time. Suppose you go to Los Angeles, stay for 1 week. It's okay, you can take your wife and show her Disneyland or Hollywood or whatever it is. Now with 24 hours, if you have to take your family on board, it's very difficult. I have at times, of course, I have sailed during those days in 75, 80s also. I sailed till the late 90s, till 2000. So from the 90s onward, this trend has started. The last few years of my sea life was very difficult in the sense family coming on board. The ship stays in port only for a few hours. So at times even I couldn't go. She has to go alone or go with somebody else ashore. It has happened to me. The reason is we got lots of regulations. A lot of inspectors, surveyors, they come on board, check the ship and you got to be there. You can't go ashore. So that could be one of the reasons. Even now the families, it will be surprisingly to see sailors' family going on a cruise, which was never thought of. They go for cruise. I know some of my friends, they come here. The reason is they can't take the family on board for 4 months. Or they may be in a different part of the world, the family can't join. It could be some vague part of Russia or vague part of South America where it is difficult for a family to join. So when they come on leave, they go on a cruise to various places or they go on vacation, which is the latest trend now in shipping. Sailing experience was sad. In 1975 when I started sailing, the ship, I can say the ship almost sank because the ship had, the cargo had shifted and there was a list of about 14 degrees. Somehow we managed to get out of it. It was quite a shocking experience being the first ship. Then there is the good experience also, like I said, we stay in a port for longer time, for about 1 week in US in one port, San Francisco another 4-5 days. Like that we have seen the world also. And also we have been to South Africa during the apartheid time, During the apartheid time, that is the time we had stayed for about 2 weeks for repairs in Cape Town. So I could probably say that was one of the good experience, going to a place where the Indians couldn't go because of that relation to South Africa I am talking about during the apartheid time. But we could go to places where people can't imagine going. So that could be one of the worst experience with the vessel. We almost got out of it. Other than that, I can't say anything. Any other experiences that I was lucky, you can say. I travel almost all part of the continent. India has been one of the main, from the British time, if you see, India was one of the pioneers in shipping. The reason being, the British were the pioneers in shipping and most of the trade those days was happening from India. And at the moment, as you know, economically, the two countries which is competing in the world market is China and India. And so that has definitely given a big boost to the Indian economy. And there is, at least this part of the world, there are a lot of imports and exports still going on. And as everybody is aware, India is growing up very fast, a lot of infrastructure developing, a lot of ports coming up. One example is you see private ports coming to India, which was never thought of earlier. You go to a developed country, you will see many ports along the coast. India having 7,500 kilometers approximately coastline. Now you see many ports, like even the minor ports, they want to be called as non-major ports. There are many ports people don't know. There's a power plant, they need oil, they got one jetty, a ship comes and goes, nobody knows that. So along the east coast, along the west coast, many private ports are coming up. And also, if you see, a lot of private players coming into the main port section, like Chennai port has got DP World. Again, Vallarpadam in Cochin has got another DP World. Bombay already existing, Gujarat. So Vizag, Chennai. So all these places are developing. This is one main reason is for that the maritime world. India plays a very important role. I think, to be frank, they have to be given some kind of a program. Somebody should tell them the merits and demerits of shipping, which I feel nobody is telling them. They really don't know because they are basically seen as ship means I'll see the world, which is in fact is not true. Probably you may not be able to go ashore. So it's not like before. So you got to know the merits and demerits of shipping. Demerits, you miss your family apart from adventure. What are the merits? You say you want to see the world. Probably you can't see the world because the ship doesn't stay in port for long. In a developed country, maybe in an underdeveloped country like Africa or Bangladesh or Pakistan, if you're going to stay for 1 week, 2 weeks, you want to see those countries. There's nothing much to see there. Apart in a day, you can see the full country. There's nothing much to see. But there should be a sincere program of somebody should be able to tell these students what is the merits and demerits of shipping in a conscientious way. And also they got to go through a lot of exams. And our exams are very difficult. Some of the subjects like navigation, you have to score 70%. Many of them don't know. 70% you can say is first class. In our navigation, it has to be 70%. You make 1 or 2 problems mistake in chart work, you are failed. People don't know that. It's not easier said than done. They think coming out to sea is the easier way to get out and make more money. No, it has got its own merits and demerits. The merits is, like I said, many are there. The sailing has reduced now 4 months. Salaries have gone up. Lifestyles have changed. And definitely you can become a smart citizen. Compared to we call them sorry to use the word land lubbers, people are ashore. We are definitely a smarter lot. My family had a great time when they were sailing. Only I stopped sailing. The main reason was when my children started going to schools, when they couldn't get enough holidays to come on board. they definitely enjoyed sailing. And even probably even I'm thinking after I retire from shore, probably I'll go back sailing if they take me back. It looks like the scenario is going to be like that. After 10 years, the shortage will be more.